From this insanely satisfying Lego Rubik's Cube to this guy who's cutting open a minifigure, these are some of the most satisfying Lego items of all time. Let's start things off with this Lego Rubik's Cube, which is a lot cooler than it looks. It's a real working Rubik's Cube made entirely out of Lego. That's right, you can actually scramble this up and really solve it. I can't even imagine how satisfying that must be. The sound of the Lego bricks smoothly sliding over each other as you try and solve the cube sounds like heaven. Well, don't worry, because by the end of this video, you'll hear more about this super satisfying little toy. But for now, let's get into the list. Starting off at number 1, we have one of the most satisfying Lego building techniques, Microscale. As the name implies, these bricks are, well, micro. They're usually built at about a quarter of the size of normal Lego builds. These are some custom Microscale builds, and you can easily see the crazy amount of detail that gets put into them. I don't even think you could count how many studs are in one of these masterpieces. You'll also probably notice how some of those pieces are literally defying the laws of physics, or I guess Lego physics. A lot of these builds use creative building techniques to achieve the insanely satisfying effects they pull off, like this waterfall for example. Lego has definitely taken notice of the popularity of this genre, and it's easy to see in the architecture theme. Next, we're getting into some more custom Lego creations, but in a different way than you would think. I'm sure you've all heard of stop motion animation, but have you ever seen Lego stop motion animation? The Jumi film is responsible for some of the most satisfying stop motion animation I think you'll ever see. Now, we all know those videos where the glass bottles get rolled down the stairs and shatter at the bottom, right? Well, just take a look at this. I think I'm in love. Along with that though, there's also this, and this. Make sure to go show Jumi Film some love because he really does some amazing work. Moving on from that though, this is a chessboard, and this is a Lego chessboard. With the rise of sites like chess.com, chess has become super popular recently, so this is a great way to play chess, but you know, with Lego. I'm not really sure how practical this would be because I think the pieces might break if you aren't careful. Even with that in mind though, this is a great set for you if you like board games and just want to relax and have some fun. As an added bonus, it comes with checkers pieces too. Next up, we have the world. More specifically, Lego spheres. Spheres have been a long time favorite for a satisfying trick. Whether you built yours big or small, you would usually have some spare bricks lying around to build one of these. Lego decided to take a crack at this with their globe set, but some of my favorite Lego spheres I've seen have been custom made. This is John, holding a giant Lego sphere. But want to know what's better than one giant Lego sphere? 10 of them. What makes these satisfying creations even more incredible is that they were made to be the centerpiece of each table at John and his wife's wedding. Maybe I'll find someone that'll build Lego with me someday. Up next is something you might not expect. This is cooking. Pretty cool, right? But this is Lego cooking. So much better if you ask me. These are some of the most satisfying videos I have ever seen. Like, just look at this chocolate cake. If you ask me, this is stop motion at its finest. I could watch these all day. All of these Lego cooking videos are from a Japanese creator named Thomasteen, so make sure to go show his creations some support. Next up on our list, we have these satisfying Lego mechanisms. These are made by RJM Bricks and are all based on real engineering principles. But what the real engineers are missing out on is how satisfying some of these can be. I'm not even going to pretend like I know what's going on in some parts of this video, but just go ahead and take a look at this Lego coupling. You can see the rod at the end keep spinning no matter the height. This satisfying mechanism is actually somewhat responsible for how cars are able to keep the wheels moving even if they aren't level with each other. Whoever said Lego couldn't be productive is sorely mistaken. I've got one word for you. Tense Kritty. Yeah, I didn't know what it meant at first either, but it's okay because I'm about to tell you. Here we go. Tense Kritty is short for tensional integrity, and it's when the tension between strings is able to give an object this insane floating effect. I could get into more of the scientifics about this stuff, but I would be lying if I said I knew what I was talking about. Anyways, Lego and the community alike fell in love with this cool physics loophole and hosted a challenge on the Lego Ideas Forum, where creators could post their own Tense Kritty creations. One crazy example is this TIE fighter from Star Wars that's floating completely because of Tense Kritty. The effect it gives off really is amazing. Moving on from that, here we've got one of the most satisfying Lego fidget toys that you can actually make with just a few Lego Technic beams. What's great about this thing is that you can build it as big as you want, assuming you could get your hands on Technic beams big enough for your imagination. Stretching this thing out is super satisfying. I might just go build one for myself. To do that, all you need are some Technic beams and double-sided Technic pins, and boom, you've got yourself a fidget toy. Here's another one by Graveyard Loon, and I think this one is even more satisfying than the last. At first glance, you might think it's just a Lego cube, but really, it's a Lego button. You can make this by taking the spring out of a pen and putting it on the center stud of 4 2x2s with some bricks around the edge. Hold on, I'll be right back. I've got to go build one of these. Up next is this big purple Lego slab, a bendable Lego slab. Look how it can warp and give off all sorts of crazy shapes and effects. It even looks pretty sturdy. The secret behind this effect is actually made up of a lot of things. I don't really know what to call them, just look. These long pieces are connected in the middle and covered up to make it look like one big Lego plate. I'm not sure I have enough bricks in the same color to build this thing, but that's not to say it can't still be satisfying to mess around with. Up next, we have a really unique set that Lego released back in 2018, the Ship in a Bottle set. This set is extremely interesting, and I would say that Lego did a great job on the detail work of this set. From the water to the sealed cork on the end, this thing is insane. As the name implies, it features a ship in a bottle. Along with that, it sits on a wooden base with a nameplate that says Leviathan. This set is really detailed for how small it is, and it would make for a really satisfying decoration. If you're ever looking for a real ship in the bottle and can't find one, this is the next best thing. Okay, everyone's heard of the Rubiks Cube. It's a legendary toy. Despite the fact that I have never been able to solve one of these things, I can still acknowledge how cool they are. Want to know what's even cooler than a normal Rubiks Cube though? You can guess where I'm going with this. A Lego Rubiks Cube. Puzz Lego made a fully functioning Lego Rubiks Cube, and it's incredibly satisfying to see in action. It's fully functional, and the only thing that looks a little weird about it is the fact that it looks pretty fragile. I would hate to drop one of these things and have to put it back together. In reality, it would probably just break from my anger if we're being honest here. I don't see myself being able to solve one of these things anytime soon. Next up, we've got the Lego Bonsai Tree, a set that has become pretty popular recently. This set is a very calm and relaxing build, helping to promote the inner peace inside everyone. Aside from that though, the bonsai comes with 2 different types of leaves, regular green leaves and pink sakura leaves. This bonsai tree makes for a very satisfying build and a cool set to show off wherever you decide to put it. It's also a lot less maintenance compared to a real bonsai tree. Nonetheless, it's a great relaxed Lego set that anyone can enjoy. This next item is also from Puzz Lego, a Lego puzzle box. This box is extremely intricate on the inside, with tons of different mechanisms, gears, and some other stuff I don't really understand. The finished result is this extremely smooth gray box that you would have to mess around with in the hopes of getting the prize inside. $100 and Lego, of course. Come on, did you really think it'd be a real $100? The cube is really just a bunch of different pieces locked up against one another, unable to be assembled until you figure out how to unlock it. After a while of pushing things around, turning wheels, and removing stuff, the cube will eventually come apart and reveal its treasure. Pretty cool, right? Moving on from that, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the huge rise in popularity of nature and animal Lego sets recently. This is because Lego has done a great job adjusting their brand image with these sets to not just be kids' toys anymore. This new Lego Kingfisher bird set is a great example of Lego's incredible marketing. The set features a stunning kingfisher bird and a nature scene with cattail plants and splashing water. This set is super satisfying to look at and does an amazing job of capturing real elements of nature and transforming them into Lego. Honestly, all the sets in this series are real eye catchers and are just satisfying in general. If they weren't so expensive, I would definitely buy more of these nature sets. They really are pretty cool. The butterfly knife or balisong is extremely recognizable. You can find them in tons of mainstream games nowadays. I'm sure we can all agree that the balisong itself is cool, but what makes it so satisfying are the tricks you can do with it. There are some serious problems that come around if you were to try and get your hands on one of these though. For one, they're all dangerous considering the fact that it's a knife. And for two, trainer balisongs can be expensive and still unsafe at times. With that being said, I present to you the Lego balisong, made out of just a few technical beams and pins. This simple build lets you have all the fun doing tricks without any danger like there'd be from a real one. Up next is a true piece of art. The Great Wave is one of the most recognizable art pieces ever, so you already know Lego had to make their own. There are a lot of people who absolutely love looking at art, so if you're one of those people, then this is for you. The set is a famous piece of artwork made out of a million different little Lego pieces on a Lego canvas with a Lego frame. I guess it wouldn't really be Lego if the whole thing wasn't made out of bricks. Besides all that, I think this is a pretty cool set if you're into art, and it can be a really satisfying decoration for your room, or really anywhere. Lego even makes it easy for you to hang this 2,000 piece creation on your wall. Pretty cool. Earlier I talked about some satisfying small Lego builds. Now let's look at some of the most satisfying mega builds. Legoland California has a massive Star Destroyer display made up of more than 350,000 pieces. It was made for the release of Star Wars The Force Awakens and features a ton of different massive builds. From TIE fighters to cargo carriers, they have everything. There's just something so cool about the sheer scale of this display. It's really only Legoland that can do stuff like this, because I'm not sure anyone else has this many bricks laying around. Up next we have a Lego Wave Machine by RJM bricks. This contraption is actually made up of a bunch of different steps that go up and down based on gears in alternating positions. When you hook up the machine to a motor, it'll turn the bottom axle, moving all of the steps up and down, which moves this ball from one end to the other. The wave effect that it gives off is super satisfying, but I don't think it compares to what he made later on. This is a kinetic sand bowl that uses a magnet to make these cool patterns out of the sand. But what if I told you it could be done in Lego? This is a Lego version of one of these tables, but RJM Bricks decided to make a very interesting substitution. Instead of using sand, he used 1x1 colored Lego studs that get moved around by the magnetic ball. The ball is propelled by tracks under the device, and it's honestly pretty amazing that he was able to do all of this with Lego. Props to him. This next item is satisfying for car enthusiasts and aspiring engineers alike. The Porsche 911 RSR. This car is a spectacle, and not only does it look technical, it is technical. The set is basically a real car with everything but the motor. While it definitely isn't very beginner friendly, building this set is a dream for car enthusiasts, or really anyone that likes Lego Technic sets. What's even better though is that after you spend hours building it, you get to look at this masterpiece in all its technical beauty. In my humble opinion, I would say from start to finish, this is the most satisfying car Lego has ever released. Considering this is the best Lego car, the next best thing is, well, owning the car. But for just shy of $200, I would say this is a better deal. Last but certainly not least on this list is the Super Mario 64 block. For those of you that live under a rock, this question mark cube is from Mario, and it's how you get a power up when playing. The set is super satisfying as it actually features a lot of miniature elements from the Mario franchise. From Princess Peach's castle to the ice penguins, the set has all sorts of miniature details that make for a Mario fan's dream set. All of these miniature levels are built on top of the cube, and it has a ton of different doors and compartments that open up. It's a very interactive set. Overall, I'd say that this is a retro video game enthusiast dream set, and features a ton of satisfying elements from the Super Mario game that I would love to have. This kind of attention to detail is what makes Lego truly special. What was your favorite item on this list? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.